Oh,
that was a crisp pop, man.
That was.
Like,
cheers, sir.
Man, I wish I had one. Whatever, it's fine.
You got your
I
fucking...
got horchata.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm about to
shot.
say. Also, every
But
time
yeah.
I try to think of a opening, like, oh yeah, welcome back to the Warlords. I'm thinking, I'm like, nah, I ain't got shit. So far as
This is just cracking a beer. That's how we open
It's
it.
the way
Yeah.
to go, man. It's
That's the
it's so
aesthetic.
natural for us because
Yeah.
you've done it a few times already, just off the cuff.
We also have you playing with a lot of shit too.
Hey, I stopped. I took off all my keys. All my shit's over there. Like, we're good. I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
There was a while we were gonna get you mittens.
I had mittens. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
I took them off.
Boys, what are we talking about today?
That is an excellent question. I've already. If we decided last that time,
We didn't.
Okay. Oh, it's a surprise. I
Yes.
like surprises.
That's good. I like surprises too because I forgot.
What?
I'm kidding.
He's like, I just have this long text document that I kind of come back and forth. I don't know what's
yeah.
on it
So
anymore.
we're like, all right, we're doing it live. Let's,
Yeah.
let's go.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
it, do it live.
No, we're talking about the forgotten factions from fantasy.
The forgotten faction.
The Forgotten... Oh, so that's
Yeah.
like the Bretonians and like Tomb Kings and stuff?
Yes.
They're the factions that never made it over into Sigmar.
They didn't make it to Sigmar.
Yeah. They're like, wait, and they just fell off.
Yeah, this is around the time I think we started playing. Was at the tail end of Fantasy, so we got to see all the factions just get
Disappeared.
left
Yeah.
behind.
We saw them get dusted by Thanos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
We had a friend who was a dedicated Empire player. He played like Bretonians, all this stuff, and he was like, "Haven't played in a few years, guys. Oh, Age of
okay.
Sigmar? I'll hop in." They're like, "Your army doesn't exist anymore," and he's like, "I guess I'm High Elves now. Okay."
Terrible.
Yeah.
Had to be elves. Take this away from me. I'm gonna start clicking it.
I will say-
Can't leave things
I
around.
I found something that makes a clicking sound.
Yeah,
and I
thank
had
God you handed it to
I
me.
had to
then.
give it away. I was about to start, dude. I saw it and I was like, ooh, I could play with that.
We need to get you a fidget spinner, a silent one.
Yes. But yeah, so we got like the Bretonians, the Empire. We'll probably dive into like the other factions of men, just a bit.
Okay.
What else? Chaos Wars.
There-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because what is it? There used to be like the Chaos Dwarves. There was a normal Dwarven faction. And then when they switched over, it just became two.
Two dwarves.
Oh,
and
like the
that's
Fire Eaters and...
And the steampunk dwarves, and
Yeah.
I forget their names.
I feel like there should be a third one in there. Let's see. Well,
That's up for debate for a lot of
Like,
people.
Well, there isn't a third one, so it's like...
Yeah. And then we got the Tomb Kings as one of them. And
They completely got phased out. They basically, their models just got switched over to be what? Some
Pretty
other
much-
army faction?
I think they pretty much just became the Bone Reapers. But it took them so long to introduce the Bone Reapers that a lot of people were like, yeah, I got nothing.
No,
Yeah.
they evolved into the... Well, no, because according to the Tales of Behemoth, they had a completely different...
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
they had a completely different origin story,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
A few different origin stories, but that's how it is.
Okay, well, how big is, like, the world of Age of Sigmar? Is it all taking place on, like, the same continent, or is it,
No,
like, world-spanning?
There's different realms, and there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, so it's almost like different, is it 7 continents, or is it like 7 universes?
Yeah, because, like,
It's-
realms is a broad term.
That's a good question. I'm trying to find a good picture.
Okay.
Because it's fucking weird.
If I had my Seraphon book, I could show you guys, but
Didn't come prepared.
Yes.
no, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh my
question.
god, this does look like different universes.
So
Yeah.
okay, so it's like 7 planes of existence that all interconnect.
Yeah, by the realm gates. I know I mentioned those a couple of times
Mhm.
for the Deacon and I think Bahamut.
I think we mentioned it in Bahamut, in
Yeah,
our
so-
Bahamut episode.
They're all connected, like I said, by the realm gates, but yeah, they're like, I don't know if I would call them universe size or not, but I know they do a whole like continent inside them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's just curious because, like, it's a very vague thing, because I think back in Fantasy, like, the OG, it was just like a continent, right? It was just like a planet.
It was,
It was just like the one world.
Yeah, and then like every edition it just kept expanding.
Like we
yeah.
get to see technically run out of space eventually.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. It's like really weird because when Fantasy switched over into Age of Sigmar, one of the reasons why Games Workshop did that, I know one of the practical reasons they did. I have no idea the fucking lore reasons, but one of the practical reasons that Games Workshop had was that Fantasy just got really convoluted and overcomplicated, and because it's been around so long, the rules became like a phone book, and it was really annoying to try and sell new players on read this phone book and then you can play. That's why the Age of Sigmar rules went to like 2 pages. So,
man, keep it simple, stupid. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best thing you can do. That's why it's been so hard for me to make my game. It's blowing out of proportion because I want to put so much in it.
it's the magic system.
So
Once you have to introduce a magic system, your game gets exponentially harder to like
and more difficult.
just to keep the rules balanced and constructed. Because when magic gets introduced, rules go out the window.
Yeah, so this is the old world map.
It's just us.
It's just us.
Yes.
Tell me that's not Africa. Look at that and tell me
Bro,
that's
that's
not
literally
Africa.
America right there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like not as long. Like
It's condensed.
it's not
And
as
they just
wide.
shifted Australia over there.
Yeah, Australia's like down here.
Oh yeah, shit.
It is also Japan is enormous.
Yeah.
That's definitely India. These little islands here that could be Italy.
Probably, but Italy.
That's Italy.
This is
Yeah.
very clearly still like
Europe.
central, like Europe and
Yeah. My only problem is the fucking Necron ship island right here.
That's Atlantis. What do you want
It
from
does
me?
look like a freaking doom site.
Ugh. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that's their fucking map back then. But then again, it's the fucking Brits, so
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the forgotten factions of Warhammer Fantasy, and let's try and figure out why Games Workshop left them in the past.
no problem. We're let's go back up on this.
There's so many. He's
Well,
like,
because I didn't like actually write down notes. I went to a different website to find out why, and I was like, Forgotten Factions, Warhammer, and they just gave me the Realms of Man, Elves, Dwarves, Lizardmen, Orcs and Goblins, or Greenskins, Chaos Skaven, the Undead, the Ogres, and that's it.
Skaven aren't in Sigmar?
oh no,
No, they are.
They are
Oh.
in Sigmar, but they had like a book change. So I think the only book that exists for Skaven is Plague Monks now.
Yeah, it wasn't when.
So they like a lot of their content got cut.
It's like Lizardmen now turned into Seraphon. In like the old Lizardmen books or whatever aren't the same anymore. It's the same models, but they're not the same army, I think.
In a weird way, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dang, everything just got downsized.
It did.
that was like a real thing because the Skaven army, there was like 4 or 5 different clans: Clan Molder, Clan Pestilence, clans this, clans that. And when it went over to Sigmar, those still existed, but they didn't get their own like army book anymore. Like the
Right.
Plague Monks, I think, is the only existing Skaven army book. I think.
During the time, yeah, because it was like a codex. You still had it. It made mention of them, but it only had like Clan Pestilence, the Plague Monks, and all that.
Oh, those are the only things you could play as.
Yeah,
Well,
sure,
they're
yeah.
the only thing that had like lore in like real stat blocks. Everything else was like a data sheet on the back of a giant fucking phone book.
Yeah, and then like
yeah.
later on, they introduced the rest of the fucking.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're really talking about, is that transitionary period from Fantasy to Sigmar. Because
Yeah.
that's when you really found out the factions that Games Workshop actually cared about.
Yep.
Oh no, Space Marine.
Hey, they...
The same thing's happening with 10th edition, is what people are telling me.
Really?
Oh, for
Like,
40k?
Yeah, like, there's no more like chapter-specific codexes.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Like, they're all it's just like the Space Marine Codex, and you get like little flavorful like,
text about.
no, not like like when you're building your armor, you pick like an ability for your army to have, and the abilities are flavored as to be like one's like, oh, your flamer weapons do more damage or whatever. Like I don't play a lot of the big game,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as an example, like, oh, all flame weapons deal like more damage or something. Well, clearly that's for the salamanders, like stuff like that.
Okay.
So you pick your flavored box, and that's like, okay, now your thing is
Well,
Grey
you're-
Knights, now
yeah,
your
yeah.
thing is Blood Angels.
Well, I think Grey Knights have their own because,
Yeah, because
But-
they're separate.
but in terms of like regular Space Marines, like it's like you get one book and then you pick one overarching thing for your army, and you pick this one if you want to play Salamanders. You pick this one if you want to play Imperial Fist. You pick this one if you want to be Raven Guard, etc., etc.
Gotcha.
Fucking convoluted as hell.
Well, just too simple.
Too simple?
Too simple. I know I said, the age-old adage, keep it simple, stupid. But there is such a thing as too simple.
Yeah. So, we're going to start with Bretonia first. Because it was the first one on the list.
Makes sense.
Going in alphabetical order, I see.
Yes. Well, also, Bretonians are definitely a faction that I remember hearing people bitch about that they didn't exist anymore.
Yes.
Because I remember there were a lot of Bretonian models and stuff at the old, like, game shops we used to go to. Like, I think that was a faction that actually was, like, rather popular that got phased out.
It was. I think it was like
Wow.
the third most popular or something like that.
Mhm.
I know it's top 3, definitely.
Yeah, at like one point, because I think they were the realm, like the human army that evolved into a different thing, and then that thing disappeared. It convoluted as hell. We'll get to it.
Well,
What are the
we're
Bretonians?
explaining it, right?
So,
what
yeah.
are the Bretonians?
The Bretonians are pretty much the French. That
Ew.
it is similar to
I'm
the
glad they
French.
phased out.
Yeah. So the sentence: it is similar to the French armies before the 100 Years' War, combined with a heavy dose of Arthurian myth.
Okay.
But from what I've seen, like, because I watch a lot of Total Warhammer games, they're focused a lot on like cavalry and everything.
Okay.
Oh, so like muskets and horses, but you still have swords and like the Arthurian legends,
Hey,
like King
yo.
Arthur's and this and
Yeah.
that.
If
Pretty
Chris was here, he'd tell you that was probably the coolest point in history when knights and guns are around at the same time.
That cross section of
That
the
cross-section
musketeers.
of where
Oh my
knights
God.
with guns was a thing.
Yeah,
And I have to agree, that's pretty awesome.
it is. But
And they had a whole army based around it.
Yeah, but they're French.
Well, they're French inspired.
pretty much.
As an American, it's my duty to hate the French. Not as much as the British, though.
Yeah, fuck the Brits.
Literally, we are talking about a game made by the British.
Hey,
Exactly.
I can like their stuff. Like, they don't have much to offer.
Gotta give them one
You
thing.
gotta give them one thing. They make a pretty decent tabletop game.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, the Bretonians. What else about them do you got?
They were just named like heavily armored knights.
On horses with
Yeah.
guns.
It was mainly, yeah, they had guns, but not as much as the Empire. And holy shit, did the Empire love their guns? But we'll get to them in a minute.
Yeah, okay, we're still in B. We still gotta go through
Yeah.
Yeah.
C, D.
So why do we think, like, the Bretonians didn't carry over into Sigmar? Were they already phased out by 8th edition fantasy?
I can't remember. Wrong tab. Well, because I
Greg
have
has so many tabs.
because I pulled up a picture for the Bretonians, but I think they were like starting to phase out at that time. Because if I remember correctly, when we used to go to our local one in Fullerton,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see as much Bretonian stuff up there anymore.
I think they had discontinued the models by then, and that's
Yeah.
usually the death nail when they stop printing the models.
Yeah, and I think they were just selling whatever they had in stock and on shelves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think there was also a thing, Bretonian models were really easy for, like, D&D players to take and use, because they were, like, just generic knights, musketeers, Renaissance-y dudes.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So I think a lot of, like, Bretonian models that I saw weren't actually played for Warhammer, they were played for, like, D&D stuff. They were easy NPC models, basically.
Yeah.
Like, here's some of their knights right here.
Oh yeah, we can actually get a look at them.
Oh dang, they do look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, their headpieces.
They look like Knights
Knights.
Templar, right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
they're
not
Knights
Templar. What the fuck am I
Templar.
thinking of? It's the fucking Knights of the
Hel-
Nine from fucking Oblivion with the fucking helmets and shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, these guys look super sick. I take back everything bad I said about them.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
this the overdone helmet
Hildery.
pieces is just it's peak. I love this.
That is exactly what you want in your Warhammer army.
Oh yeah, like it's like that's one of the things I like about Warhammer. It's things I generally like just dialed up to 11, and it's just more of what I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys actually they actually look pretty cool.
So after the Bretonnians, there's the Empire, right?
Yes, and that's what Sigmar helped build when we talked about him.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
This is before pre-Stormcast Eternals.
Fuck yeah.
I think that's a thing, right? Like the Empire evolved into Stormcast Eternals. Was that like a thing?
No. So I think all the realms of men, like all the nations and everything, became. I think what they're called is the cities of Sigmar now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's just mainly all humans, but when you really take a deep dive, they take hold of, like, every other old faction model. Like, the dwarves, the wood elves, or the high
Oh,
elves.
that's where you get like the more generic stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I
okay,
see.
so that makes sense why there's only two dwarf factions, quotations over dwarf,
Yeah.
because the more generic stuff got lumped together with
the Sigmar
the
stuff.
Sigmar team.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, that's probably like Bretonnians got folded into Empire. Empire got folded into the armies of Sigmar.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably. Like I'm assuming that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I know
More or
nothing
less,
about
yeah.
this. This is your guys' episode.
This isn't my episode. I am going off of a vague conversations I had at the games counter like fucking a decade ago.
Yeah, so.
I love how we do so much research for this podcast and we just kind of just really
Okay.
get into the nitty gritty of it
Hey,
all.
we're talking. That's what a podcast
Yeah.
is.
So,
It's
like,
a bunch
this
of
is
people
some of
talking.
The, like, the dwarves stuff
Mm-hmm.
right here. You got the Iron Drakes, the Longbeards, the Hammers.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
this is literally old world adjacent models. Like, you don't see the gyro bomber anymore, the Iron Breakers, or the gyrocopter. Like, this is old world models.
Yeah,
right here.
I think they updated the gyrocopter, but even then it looks completely different.
It is. Let's see. You got your Darkspawn Chariot, which were Dark Elves, which aren't around anymore either, but I think they phased into. Fuck, I can't think of the faction name right now.
But
The
like some of
Crimson
them,
Court fools.
No. Oh, that's actually a fucking good name.
Crimson Court. That's pretty metal.
Yeah. So, like,
Thank you, Darkest Dungeon.
I mean, that does make sense. It is a thing where a lot of old world models got phased into other things or fell into other armies because Games Workshop, they're, an awful company, but they don't want you to not be able to use your models.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
The stuff
Well,
that I've been hearing.
They want you to buy more models, yeah, but they'll usually give you some way to play some of your old ones.
in a sense, yeah.
I like these guys' aesthetic. I like the.
Oh, the Free Guild Marshal and Relic of
Yeah.
Everwood.
They look cool. I
I
like.
just noticed there's a head right there.
And that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah. Well, the only thing I know is like, if they ever make you, if the bases ever change, that's when it's like, okay, now they want you to like throw your old army away. It's useless.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happened when Fantasy turned into Sigmar. Was they switched over to the circle bases instead of the square bases.
Yeah. And I think that was for like so that way you can pile in your models for like a better fight or so.
Oh, it was because they wanted it to
That
be a
doesn't
more
make any
loose skirmish game. Was what it was. Because the old way you did it in Fantasy was everything was on square things, and you would have trays, and you would shift the trays around because it was like what the fuck what the
like
fuck
after
an RTS.
in, yeah.
It would be like an RTS where you would move your blocks around of troops up to other blocks, and then you would like pop them off like they were health points, right? But when
Yeah.
they switched to Sigmar, it wanted to be more skirmish, so your armies would be a little looser. So you can like move them around and like kind of break your squads up a little bit for combat. They just wanted it to be more of like skirmishy as opposed to my block of models versus
Or
your
your
block of models.
I I wish they could have found a blend of the two, because, like, I guess depending on your army, you're moving them in clumps anyways. Like, guard, don't you, like, again, I've never played, but even in Kill Team, I'm usually moving my guys in, like, 2 squads of 5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have them clumped together because I don't want a grenade to take all of them out. But, like, I typically keep, like, a few of them, like, closer together. So, I don't know.
Well, it was a thing. I think they just wanted to get rid of movement trays, because movement trays were very, they were weird to well, okay, here's probably the real reason. Old armies in Fantasy used to be fucking huge.
They were.
My Skaven army was like 100 models, and that was like just to get to a 2,000 point limit.
That sounds like a little bit of models.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little bit.
Guard
Just a smidgen.
infantry models are like 300.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
guard infantry.
Well, Skaven's also like a horde.
I would have
army,
loved the
yeah.
tray to move all those if I was playing that. Like,
Yeah.
God damn, I wish I didn't have to move these all individually.
Well, that was the thing, because they used to have the big horde armies, and then when we switched to Sigmar, all the armies got smaller.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Oh, okay.
And that was the thing, because I think it got to a point where people realized this game is fucking ridiculous and takes up so much space in my house.
Yeah.
When I'm actually wanting to play like a 5,000 point game, then it's like, I don't have enough space to
Or-
keep all my models.
Yeah. I have to add 2 more rooms just to get the fucking space.
And I think
Yeah,
that's why a lot of people would play 40k, because it was just less models you had to deal with. Because I think
Okay.
even a full 40k army is like 30 models.
Depends
no,
what
depends
you're
on who you
running.
play.
Depends what I'm running.
I hear an all infantry guard
That's-
is 300 models.
Yeah. I think custodians have like the least amount of.
Knights.
Is
yeah,
Knights?
It's Imperial Knights, bro.
Oh,
Because you got like 4 models, but they're like.
If you're
gigantic.
playing the big knights, in
Yes, that's what I'm
because
talking
each
about.
one it could be like 500 fucking points.
I guess, like, okay, I guess the next smallest army would be Custodians.
Yeah, and even then, like, how much is custodians get to a 2,000 point limit? 10?
I don't probably
think, like,
probably more, but like,
20.
20, right?
again, it depends what you're running. Like if you're
Yeah.
just running basic custodians, like, you probably have a lot more than 10. But if you're running them on their bikes, because I know they get speeder bikes, like they're probably gonna be more.
There are probably people.
They get dreadnoughts. So
There are
They
probably
do.
people listening
They
right
do.
now, being like, "You guys don't know dick all about 40."
no, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
I don't play the big game. I
This is
only
why we're
play
fucking
the.
talking about fantasy and
I only
Sigmar,
play the
fuckers.
baby skirmish game, where I only get 10 models because I
Yeah,
don't
Kill
have
Team.
time to put together like 300 models because I love guard.
and that I think that's probably why Games Workshop was like, let's switch over to smaller armies so people have time to build all this shit.
Yeah.
They'll buy more anyways when they want to kit bash.
That's yeah, probably. Or it's also a thing like, oh, if they buy a kit, then it's like they'll build the army fast and then they'll buy another kit. Because I think before you would buy like 2 or 3 like Skaven kits, and that would take you like fucking forever for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but what's the next army?
Yeah, what's the next?
The Empire.
Okay.
So they're supposed to be based off the real world Holy Roman Empire.
Metal.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Guy, we thought about the Roman Empire together.
So the
Always
Empire uses a bit of like modern technology along with magic. And what I mean by modern, just guns.
Ah,
They're mainly like the gun faction besides dwarves.
Roman Empire with guns.
Yes.
Matt's
Oh.
like they would conquer everything even harder than they did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
like even their basic people had guns. The knights had guns.
They're like
mage.
skirmish.
Ran out of fireball, so he pulls out his gun.
Hey man.
That sounds pretty fucking American.
It does. So
Do we have some models to look at? Really get a good idea of their aesthetic.
'Cause,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely Roman centurions. Well, I don't know.
with muskins.
Fucking huge muskets.
Well, maybe their color pattern, because their color scheme is very Romanesque, but I can't really see what their clothes look like. The guns are too big. I can't see their shirts.
Well, this is what they kind of would look like.
Oh yeah, that's an old
That's not
army painting.
Roman Empire.
They're
The color-
inspired. They're
Yeah,
inspired.
inspired by them.
They
Not
they,
that
they
they
look
are.
they're wearing gambeson. Makes it look like
What the
like-
fuck is Gambison?
did I say gambeson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's it's a type of cloth armor.
Oh, fucking Christ. Alright, so the Empire, though. Cool looking.
They do look cool. I love red.
Yeah.
Red
So,
looks good on them.
like I said, they
Like
were
the feather
mixed
hats.
between magic and technology.
Mm.
One of their more famous ones is the steam tank.
The steam tank.
Yo,
Yeah, there was
did I hear
only-
tank?
There was only 12 ever made in all of Fantasy Warhammer.
Oh,
Like, in
that
lore.
looks-
in lore. That's
Ooh.
cool as hell.
Yeah.
I bet things were like 1 billion points.
Fucking
'Cause
probably.
There's definitely someone out there running 12.
They're all 12, yeah.
And has come across someone else who's also running the 12.
And they have to figure out, it's like, okay, so we gotta figure out, because lore, alright.
Who's
Yeah.
got the real... Like, it... I wonder if it'd be illegal for them to face off against each other.
Probably not.
It'd be world breaking, bro.
It would, but I mean, they don't ever fucking take the games into consideration.
Oh,
They don't add it to lore. Look at you, 40k.
Jesus.
They did that.
Yeah, they did.
But,
It was the Volcadia.
That's very cool.
it, okay. I mean, that's kind of neato, because, like,
That's what
They-
Helldivers is doing.
God.
Yeah, well, look, we're not talking about Helldivers.
I'm sorry.
You went on like a 10-minute rant already.
Empire feels like a little samey as, like, Bretonnians, right? Because Bretonnians were also humans with guns.
This is probably what they turned into.
Yeah.
No, because the Empire and the Bretonnians were two separate factions.
Oh, they exist at the same time.
Yes.
Oh,
So you have the
okay.
Bretonnian Empire, the French, and the Roman, or not the,
The Empire,
What-
Empire.
The Empire.
Empire. and they're based off, like they said, the Roman Holy Empire.
Okay. But it's like you can either play this version of humans or this versions of humans.
Yeah.
Then I guess that kind of
Yeah,
makes
do you-
sense why one of them would be phased out eventually.
Do you like a more medieval or like
A Renaissance.
like turn of the century,
Yeah.
like kind
Again, like I said, I believe they both kind of merged and became the cities of Sigmar.
Yeah,
Would-
which would make sense because they're both very much the same brand of cool.
Yes. So
Bretonians are cooler.
You're just saying that because of the French.
No, I like a medieval aesthetic more than a turn of the century aesthetic.
Oh, all right. What's our next faction?
there's the smaller states of the world. We got the Wasteland, Tilia, Estelia, the Norska, or the Nord. What were they called again? The Nordic?
The Norsemen?
Yes, the Vikings, pretty much.
Okay.
No, they had a name. We talked. Oh my god,
Yeah,
they
I
did the
know.
last
I can't
episode.
think of what they're called right now, but
Was
they're
it
also
the-
known
it
as
wasn't
the
the-
Norska.
It probably was.
Yeah, and then we got Kislev, which are literally Russians.
Okay. and-
Oh, Russians get their own.
Yeah.
Of course.
But these were all, like, these guys and the next set of guys weren't people you could actually play on tabletop.
What?
They were part of the lore, but never.
Oh, they weren't like models. They were like lore fluff.
Yeah.
Man.
I know.
Okay.
Oh well. Can only have so much plastic, right?
That is weird because I feel like Games Workshop is always like, oh, this one character got a cursory mention in the lore book. Let's release a model. He'll be $80.
Yeah, so. This
And
is
people will pay that
Kislev
$80.
right
Yeah.
here. Literally Russians.
Oh, you look.
riding
Yeah,
on
we
bears!
talked. Yeah, we talked. Yes, I remember them.
No.
They ride bears.
No, this is like the act. They actually have full units in Total Warhammer 3, where you could get people riding them.
Wait, so is this just a Warhammer 3 like video game faction? This isn't like a tabletop faction?
Correct. You can play these guys in the PC game,
Mhm.
but they were never a tabletop faction, which sucks. I would love to get models of these guys.
Those would be kind of cool, honestly,
Yeah.
to see on the tabletop.
The freaking Tsar-looking guy on the polar bear with armor.
Yeah, like I know in the games, you could have a giant polar bear made of ice. And everything. I was like, what the fuck?
An ice bear, you say?
Yes.
Ice bear.
You could say it's a
the wings
cold
on
killer.
the wings on his shoulders. There's an armor set like that in Elden Ring. It's really cool.
Of course
it's really
Elden
cool.
Ring. Okay.
Here's a little bit more of these guys.
Yeah, they look really cool.
All right. So, but these ones never even became factions. So they existed.
They're game exclusive.
They existed their entire lifetime. Never got models, and then we got into Age of Sigmar, and then they got forgotten.
But hey, they
Yeah.
got put into a video game, so
did.
that's something.
That is something.
Excuse me. Then we got the North, East, and South human ones. Motherfuckers, this is Albion?
They're your
What?
notes.
No, these aren't my notes. This is, I told you, I didn't make notes. I went onto a different website this time.
He just vibe.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He's like, I can do this off the cuff. I don't need research.
I feel as betrayed as you do, listeners.
That first one.
Albion?
Yeah, Albion.
That's
Based
a fucking
on-
video game.
Based upon Britain and Ireland, Albion is an island surrounded by mist and fog. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh-huh.
In 2001, Games Workshop ran a worldwide summer campaign based around control of the Isle of Albion, which included rules for adverse weather conditions and stone circles, which enhanced the abilities of magic. Oh, okay. So this was like a. This wasn't really a faction. This was like a setting.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I'm reading, or I looked at it, I'm like, there's a PC game called Albion.
Uh-huh.
Is it Warhammer
Related?
based or?
You just know it exists?
I know it exists, but I'm like, I think someone owes someone some money.
No, it's just a word, bro.
It's true.
It's a very specific word.
I don't have.
With your big words and your smaller,
who
equally
got,
complicated
did
rules.
Warhammer have to get? Did Warhammer get sued for taking the name Warhammer? No, the words existed for like a billion years.
I don't know.
They trademarked it.
They did.
I need to look into a player's handbook to see if the
Warhammer-
Warhammer has a TM on it.
So we got so that the land of Japan, Nippon. Then we got
It's like I had to do a double take. It's like, wait, there's no way.
yeah Nippon, Nippon.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I just found that funny. We got literally the Islamic States named Arby or
Arby's.
Arabi.
Arby's.
Yeah. Where's the meat?
Man, when was the last time I've been to an Arby's? It's
Dude.
been a while.
Ever since the last time before they closed that one down the street.
Oh my god.
I know that Arby's is there. Dude,
For
that,
me,
that Arby's
it
didn't
was-
last long.
2021 coming back from Lake Havasu.
Fuck, you had to go all the way out there to get an Arby's?
No, we were coming back home from Lake Havasu.
Oh.
That's just like the last time we had one.
Yeah.
I've never had Arby's.
I've never had Arby's.
Never had Arby's.
Really?
Interesting.
Anyways, more about these Muslim guys because I'm interested.
Is this just they're a realm, not a faction?
Yeah.
That's not that's probably what most of these are because it's like
Yeah, these
like,
are
I
like
thi-
the
I-
forgotten.
These were like built for lore or for like game campaigns.
Yeah.
Because I feel like these ones in the last four were like these were lore based to help fluff out a place. They never made models or like went beyond that.
yeah, it's like what is there? Are there other people? Are there other humans in the world that aren't just the Bretonians and the Empire people?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
It's like, well, yeah, they are, but here's what we know about them, and that's it.
yeah. So,
So what's the next one we got?
I was just gonna name off the last two. We got the Kingdoms of IND, and they have a role-playing game.
Oh.
Ooh,
I think DJ and the guys, they played it before.
what's it about?
I know. It's a fictitious location in the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing games.
Oh, is this where like Warhammer Quest takes place and like Hero Quest takes place?
I'm taking a long shot in the dark here, but I'm saying yeah, that's where it's from.
Okay, because that makes sense. Because I know like the Warhammer had like it had like 3 or 4 different tabletop games. There was like Hero Quest, and that was like a board game like for like 13, 14-year-olds to play. Like it was like board game D&D. Then there was like Warhammer Quest, which was more like teenagers, college age. It was still a board game, but it was a lot more like free moving. Like the dungeons were a lot like more modular, and they had a lot more replayability to it.
Yeah.
And then there was like a straight up like tabletop RPG, where it was like, here's like your book, it's D&D, but in the Warhammer world. That's it. So I'm guessing that world is probably where all of them take place in.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing as well. And then we got Cathay, which is based off ancient China, they even have the fucking wall of China as well.
Hey, bro, you
Perfect.
can't have like a Chinese-inspired faction not have the wall.
Oh no, I know, but
The wall.
They
Yeah.
put up a wall.
They put up the wall.
they're also a playable race in the video game. They're when you go to some of their gates, they're pretty good names. The Gate of the Dragon, the Gate of the Turtle, like based off their shit.
Is there a black gate?
Fuck, there might be.
Did the black gate just got 10 feet higher?
The
Dude, these
Black
things
Gate
like
just
are
got 10 feet high.
spanning like extremely high.
God.
Like not as high as the mountains they're in between, but fucking high.
Ugh.
These guys have like the hot air balloons with crane gunners in them. Or, like,
Crane gunners.
they're called that because their guns are like the giant muskets we saw for the Empire guys,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're using them as snipers.
Oh, is
That's
this like
pretty
a
cool.
stupid long barrel?
Yeah.
You fire it. It takes like 3 minutes for it to exit the barrel. It,
Yeah.
it loses a lot of propulsion, but god damn is it
They
accurate.
do got I like to call them mortar rounds, being pulled by oxen. They're from what I see, they're fun. Goddamn group to play as.
And they were in Total War? Or?
Yeah, Total War 3.
Oh, okay.
Then we got the elves. We got dark elves, high elves, and wood elves.
Well, you can skip
I
this.
feel like the... Wait. Are these like the elves and then they got changed into something else? Because I thought wood elves existed, but are they like Slovenians or whatever the fuck they're called now?
Sylvana.
Sylvana. Are those wood
I
elves
don't-
now?
I'm gonna say yes because
There's so many models to keep fucking track
they're
of.
way too many.
They're elves, I don't care.
You just hate elves.
I do hate elves.
I mean, I hate elves too, but
Elves are
I-
cool.
they're cool in their own ways. But yeah, fuck them, pretentious assholes.
Every elf ever.
Yes.
I like elves.
Because you're a pretentious asshole. Like,
I mean a little.
So the high elves are. Everyone knows what a high elf is.
They're snooty.
Yeah,
they're snooty elves.
Snooty.
Ooh.
So their king would be known as a Phoenix King.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, here's the thing: when the Phoenix King dies, you wanna know how they choose a new one?
I'm not gonna take a guess. Go ahead.
No, take a guess.
Well, I was just saying, like, I'm implying cremation is involved, or burning of the body in some way.
They do burn the body, if I remember correctly, but they'll choose one new guy, like of the council.
Yeah.
What he has to do, he has to walk into like these magical flames. I think of Phoenix Fire.
Mm-hmm.
If he survives, he becomes the new king. If he doesn't,
They just
Rinse
get the
and
next,
repeat?
They just get the
yes,
next guy.
I believe so.
That could you imagine? You're like the third guy in line, and you're like, "All right, your turn for the fire." You're like, "I don't think I'm king material, guys."
I
Like,
know. I had to. I thought about it, and I just.
So
I'm
Laird,
not
no.
feeling it. But would you take that chance?
bro, I'm okay working in sanitation. I'm fine. It's cool. I'll run that council meeting. It's fine.
So, the Dark Elves, it's a weird one because technically the leader of the Dark Elves, survived the fire, but he was never chosen to go into the fire.
I could see
Wow,
why.
just because he's black,
I can
racist.
see
No.
why he left.
No.
Started his own club with blackjack and hookers.
Pretty much.
Oh god. I'm trying
It's
to.
like,
think
I
how many-
passed the test. Why won't you make me king? I would have left too.
These guys are fucking way too edgy and sharp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks like the side of my van. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Does that helmet have enough horns?
No.
Not even close.
So that's the main guy, Marquez.
Hmm.
He's the one who survived.
And they didn't let him become king.
Technically, yes, but the reason why he's always head to toe, he was burned, but he lived.
Yeah, like
So
I
he's-
imagine.
He was like, "You just said survived the fire. Didn't say I had to look pretty afterwards."
Yeah, all the other kings had no burn marks or anything like that. He lived. But
That's the alright. Okay.
and elves. Remember?
Yeah, elves are losers. Like this
They're
guy's
just-
a Chad. Like I.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
this
I
guy."
won by technicality. I'm still your king.
Literally, and they said no. Like, It's like, what do you mean?
You're
Yeah.
like,
He's-
you're doing rules as written. We're doing rules as intended. Thank you.
Terrible. Rules is
Yeah.
written always.
So they had like Hydras you could use, Cold One Riders, which are like Ding's Raptors, but Dark Elves are using them.
Hmm.
It
So they also have dinosaurs.
yes, but just the Raptors.
So like the high elves and the dark elves and the wood elves, they don't like exist anymore, or are they just something else now?
I believe the Dark Elves and the High Elves got combined into one,
Okay.
but
Into like a general like elvish faction or whatever.
yeah, but when I see the models
He
for
came
them,
back and he took control.
He's like, this is mine now
Yes.
with blackjack and hookers.
no, but when I look at the models for the new elves, or the what I like to say is the new elves, they look way too much like Dark Elves. So I think High Elves are just part of the cities of Sigmar, but we don't see a lot of them.
I see. So like the dark elves took over the elvish faction, and then the high elves, the quote unquote traditional elves, got
Became, like,
shifted
mitigated.
over.
With a leader like that, I can see why.
Yeah,
Dude.
and with the Wood Elves, they technically, I still want to say they're the new faction of Sylvaneth.
Mhm.
And they're-
With like the tree people and all that
yeah,
stuff.
I do be liking tree people.
yeah.
In like
I mean-
almost like nearly all forms of media, the tree
Yeah,
people
like
are usually
I know
pretty
the
cool.
king of the Wood Elves is named Orion, and he was gigantic.
Like,
But that's because he
was
was,
he swole or was he actually a giant?
yes,
He was a
because
Okay.
he did some kind of ritual where he became part tree and part elf. So like,
tree. He was
Okay.
a tree man.
if you can
Okay.
find him.
I was gonna say, there's
How
a-
much you want to bet he has a beard?
well, I'm
And we're
just
gonna call him
like,
Tree Beard
there's
for
an
the rest of
elf. There's an elf in Baldur's Gate 3. His name is Halsin, and his, I guess like his identifying quality is that he is the most jacked elf I have ever seen in my life, and it is so cool. And they make mention of it in game, where like you can talk to him. You're like, wow, you're pretty buff for an elf. It's like, yeah, it's so weird, right? Maybe there's like a half orc somewhere in like my bloodline or whatever. It's because he's so huge for an elf. Because normally elves like they're light and lithe and really thin or lean.
Yeah.
He is yoked out of his mind, dude.
Dude,
He is massive.
I'm thinking of that and I'm like, okay, elves live like ridiculously long,
They're
right?
almost
Yeah.
immortal.
Yeah, almost immortal, right? Like they live longer than anything else, so they might as well be immortal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why isn't that there's just one else be like rise and grind, bro, every day?
That's Halsin.
Rise and grind.
Halsin said he was born that way, but
You
like,
know he
that's
was
why
rise and grind, eats
every
one full
day.
chicken a
He's
day.
a druid. He's a druid.
That's why he's out there like throwing logs and trees, wrestling
Yeah.
bears.
He's
He doesn't turn
chef.
into a bear to wrestle his bears. He does it straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a good picture of him because every picture I'm finding is like has him really tiny. I'm like, oh, it's not helping my case.
No,
right
I need
now.
I need the tree version, the post tree.
So I will admit, I was wrong on the tree part. I admitted it, okay? Because I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I
If I can't even trust you with the lore, like how can I?
I will hate you both.
So violent, so violent.
So he was at. What is the truth then? If
I'm just gonna find a decent picture. Man is
he is pretty
He's-
jacked
he's
for an elf.
pretty
yeah,
big.
he is swole.
Okay, can I get the character sheet right there?
There's the character sheet.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
I know you
this is
play
his
him
sheet,
in
yeah.
Total Warhammer 1 and 2.
The whole.
Dude, look at those quads. God
Yeah,
damn.
he is quite yoked out of his mind. Some
Yeah.
would say he is henched out.
Yes, he is. So he has hooves
Oh,
instead.
real question, natty or not? Is he on the gas?
He looks druidy. It's all natural, bro.
I don't know. That looks like he's hitting up a little of the roids, maybe after the gym.
Maybe like a muscle-inducing fungus. Yeah.
He's just injecting, Miracle Grow just to jack up
Miracle
a little.
Grow. Oh my god.
Literally just hits the Miracle Grow,
He
man.
puts it in his oats, bro.
He's like, remember, kids, say your prayers and eat your vitamins. You get half as swole as me.
Don't forget your Miracle Grow.
Oh,
my. Probably.
This is what our podcast should be. We should just look at random Warhammer dudes and be okay. Let's a nice 5-minute set we can riff on these fuckers
We
with.
can do that just for our whole episode.
That's all we do. What do you
That's it.
mean?
Yeah. No, like for another episode, I'll just do that for you guys. Like, I'll pull up a picture of someone, and you guys just fucking...
Maybe for like a 100 episode or something.
We just do the
Right.
meme slideshow.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't mind a meme slideshow.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a special episode or something.
So
Maybe we like 100 subscriber special. We
Yeah,
do like
hopefully.
a meme slideshow.
so we're gonna talk about dwarves and chaos dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarves, we all know how dwarves are. They're fucking sturdy and everything.
I like
But
dwarves. I think dwarves are really cool
Why do you think I always like playing dwarves?
because they're really cool.
Yes. Fucking better than
They're
them.
very based, and I like that
Fucking
about them.
knife ears.
Hey. The elves are fine people with a rich history.
No, they're not. They're
Of being
pretentious pigs.
cocksleeves.
Wow. So rude to the elven kind.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
with those iron-footed beard people.
I love them.
Yes. Because we...
Hashtag humanity first, though.
What? What'd you say?
Hashtag humanity first, though.
Matt watched Avatar and was like, "Fuck those blue people. Take him down, boys."
Humanity first, my guy.
Hashtag humanity first, yes.
Okay, so the dwarves.
Yeah, I think they're probably the most technological advanced. We saw their...
Oh yeah, they got
gyrocopters.
freaking blimps.
Yeah.
They-
Zeppelins.
If I remember right,
the
they
new ones.
were like the only other faction I knew of that had a Gatling gun. I think. 'Cause-
I believe so. I know they had the gyrocopters and all that gyro bombers. They did have flamethrowers compared to the Skaven ones.
but they're not really flames. It's just warpstone. It's fine.
No, like these were actual
It's straight
flaming waffles.
gas.
that is the Skaven modus operandi for combat. What are we gonna put in there? Straight gas,
Gas.
boys.
Along with plutonium.
Dude, that's why I love Skaven weapons, because it's like, so how do we make this gun work better? Or how do we make this piece of technology better? Plutonium? Let's put plutonium in.
Yeah.
Jazales is literally like, what if we fired plutonium out of a musket?
Yes.
That's it. That's
Pretty
it.
much.
That's gas.
Yes. So, chaos dwarves. They're pretty much dwarves, but
Spiky.
spiky. Yeah.
I knew it.
Literally.
Yep.
If it's chaos, it's spiky.
It's always spiky.
How are we going to change up the aesthetic of the dwarves? We want them to be chaosy.
More spikes.
Or I have a picture of you, employee of the month.
God.
More spikes.
Yeah,
But-
because they have their own chaos god that they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they created a new chaos god.
I believe so.
When
Called
in doubt,
Hashret.
make a new god.
Yeah, Hashret, the father of darkness. Yeah, I know.
So edgy. That sounds like an elf thing. I don't.
Oh, I see. So when it's elves, it's edgy. When it's dwarves, it's fine.
It's
cool.
no. It's kind of silly. It's really edgy. A lord of darkness.
Dude, that is the feeling
So
I have
generic.
with so much of like Warhammer lore. Is some of it's like really like, oh, that's like cool and that's interesting, and then there's a definite part. Usually when you get to anything with chaos in the names, where I'm like, ooh, you were real mad at your parents in high school when you wrote this lore. Ooh, man, this is real edgy. I can hear the Linkin Park being in the background when I read this.
Crawling in my skin.
These dwarves, they worship chaos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rest in peace. Yeah. Oh my god.
This is some of their units from the video game.
Are these?
Oh.
Are the Chaos Dwarves a
like
game
their
only, or
helmet.
do they have models?
I think they're only game, which sucks because
Well, hold on. What about? Well, I guess that could be like a
Okay.
like a fan. No, this one.
Chaos
Oh,
Dwarves.
yeah.
You think that's a fan one? It's on Reddit. So
Well, there's
probably
also
is.
this one next to it, made to order chaos doors.
Oh, so those will be like custom ones.
Yeah, so they're probably custom made.
Oh yeah, they look more like goblins too.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so these guys were probably another one of those like
Video games, but never to.
This one I want to because that like concept art for them. I like their hats. What culture do you think that hat is? Also, the shield with the skull in it has a beard.
Yeah.
I mean,
The skull has a beard.
I'm annoyed that when you see dwarven skeletons, they don't have the beard still on them.
Oh my god.
You know what? This is
The beard should come from the bone. All right,
like doesn't
beard
it?
to the bone.
Doesn't it?
Sorry,
I'm taking a drink.
That was
we're beard to the bone.
like I remember what because Corpse Bride the old skeleton.
Yes.
He has
Yes.
he has
Oh
a
my-
beard growing out of his
Yes.
like bone
That
chin.
was funny as hell.
And for some reason, when I saw that as a kid, I thought like that's how deep like hair roots could go. It's like,
In Matt's brain, he's like, "Where does hair come from? The bone."
well, no,
Grows
no,
out.
like I thought that's just how old he was. He's so
Fair
old, his growing hair from his bones. And I know that's not how it works, but dwarven beards should come from the bone.
yeah.
Mm. That's why they're so sturdy. They're made of actual bone.
What was that theory came up with that like dwarves are just beards, like infesting a
Sentient
body?
beards?
They're
Yeah,
sentient beards.
Dwarves are sentient beards that are
Like a-
controlling
like
gnomes.
like a parasitic
Entity.
entity that like shits up to like a gnome or something.
That would be the greatest lore reveal ever.
That would be
It'd be the best thing ever.
We-
dude.
we-
I would be like, I'm 100% invested in this. This is awesome. Like, I don't care what you say.
Tolkien,
That is
like one
so
of Tolkien's
cool.
letters finally gets released, and he's like, "So this is the true concept I have of the dwarven people. They are parasitic beards
Yeah, that infest like gnome bodies or something.
or halflings."
Like no,
Hobbits.
They're the same thing. We talked about why gnomes are useless in fantasy settings.
Yeah.
They're like that
So-
weird in between a dwarf and a hobbit, and it doesn't need to be there because you could just have
One
a
of
more.
the-
You could just have a more dainty dwarf, or you could just have a more masculine
Halfling.
Halfling. Like
Yeah.
you don't need this in between. That can be either or.
So what's the next faction?
Lizardman, but we know they survived. They're now
Well, you know, they
Seraphon.
Yeah.
technically survived, but they were just downsized.
Yeah.
Well, it's a thing because lizardmen used to have a different like. Well, I guess they still have the same like Aztec Mesoamerica
Well,
aesthetic.
they still do.
Yeah, but like I think lizardmen they changed it to Seraphon because that's what happened to a lot of armies.
They just
They just-
changed like
The name
overarching
got
name.
updated.
Yeah, they
So,
got
like,
updated because the lizardmen models were old as shit.
oh my god, they were horrible to look at.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's cool that they got a proper name because, like,
Yeah.
as cool as like lizardmen sounds, like as a culture, I think they deserve their own like name for
Yeah.
for their own designation.
The other reason was it's like that's why a lot of like chaos dwarves and lizardmen got real names is because you could trademark Seraphon, you couldn't trademark lizardman.
Yeah.
You couldn't trademark dwarves, or I think it was a thing like how you spell dwarves. You have to be really specific because I think the Tolkien estate owns a certain spelling of dwarves
Yeah.
because he literally invented how you write the
Dwarves.
dwarves, like with the VES. That's why in everything else it's dwarf with the F. The
Oh.
VES because Tolkien
Was-
was a linguist. He literally invented how you spell dwarves.
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
His publisher, when he was writing the Oxford Dictionary at the time,
Oh.
came up to him like, "Yeah, I don't think that's how you spell dwarves," and he just looks at him like, "I wrote the book. You dare challenge me?"
You dare challenge my power?
Pretty much.
Rises from a thing, staff in hand, lightning shooting from his fingers.
He's like, "For the fires of Baldoon, evil shall not avail you."
You shall not pass.
yeah. Okay.
So that is peak cinema, right? Like we,
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Lord of the Rings, we peaked in cinema. Everything led up to that, and everything's been downhill ever since.
Yes.
Ian McKellen, man, like, he carried that movie.
There's a fucking picture, meme I always see, like, the three movies, and it's like them drawing a horse above them. And it's like the super best fucking drawing of this horse ever. I'm like, yes, I agree. And it shows like other movies compared to it. It's like, oh yeah, the first movie was shit. So it's like,
It's like a stick drawing of a horse, then it gets to like a super detailed one, or you get
Oh,
the
I think
yeah.
I've seen that meme.
yeah,
It's
like the middle gets a bit better, and then the end is like perfect, or it's like just a whole stick drawing throughout the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the best memes out there.
It's a really good one when you're trying to like compare things that are the same or similar.
Dude, we were so spoiled in like that early 2000s eras in terms of
Dude,
franchises, like
it
Lord of the
was-
Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, fucking.
We grew up at the peak of
Cinema.
and gaming. Like it's just.
Ah,
I'm glad to have been born when I was.
Same here.
because
now I'm
So-
just sad.
like we're just seeing the steady decline. We get a banger every once in a while,
We do.
but
Like
like
Godzilla -1.
Greg
still-
wants that to win an Oscar
I
so
still
god.
I really
haven't
do.
seen it.
Dude, I didn't go see it when it was out again in black and white.
I wanted to go, but I was busy that weekend.
Oh,
It sucks because they only released it for like a week.
they
They're
did.
not,
but-
weekend.
they're not streaming it anymore. I think
No.
they're like
No,
trying-
it was only movie theaters.
Yeah, I was like, but like I'm like Toho, please, like I want to see this movie.
It'll probably hit a streaming thing, but after like the Oscars or DVD hits or whatever, because
Yeah.
they know like if we put it on streaming, no one will buy the fucking DVD.
Well, like, I just
you know?
bought Shin Godzilla on YouTube.
Yeah. That's one.
It's like I want. Like,
I'm so
I,
sorry for you.
Well, like, cause I wanted to see it, they weren't streaming it anywhere, and I was like, oh, I can rent it or buy it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I saw
That's
that the
one-
prices were the same, so I bought it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy
I
it.
have to watch that one because I'm genuinely interested in it.
It was good. Well, it was
It has its
a lot of meetings, but like it
I-
was good. I liked it.
yeah. Well, I know that each form of Godzilla takes like a actual event that happened to Japan.
Oh really? Oh I
Yeah,
didn't-
like,
I didn't know about that stuff. We're
The
supposed to be talking about.
I know. I'm
fantasy,
sorry.
like-
I'm sorry. I'm distracted.
What's the next faction?
What's the next faction? Because like, oh my god, we suck.
Because the
Green-
dwarves we understand, or the lizard men we understand, they transformed.
yeah,
they
just
digivolved.
they just changed.
We got the greenskins.
They're still around.
Orcs and
technically.
goblins,
Yes.
right?
Seeing is that we used to have different tribes for the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
We had I think they were called Bone Splitters
Nice.
and Iron Jaws.
Yeah,
They were
okay,
the
I
two
remember the
different
Iron
factions
Jaws.
for the orcs. They each had their own codex. I think for fantasy and War or Sigmar, they're called battle tomes instead.
Mm-hmm.
But
I heard Battletoads, so I was just like,
goddamn,
Yo, what?
Battletoads?
are they like a lizardman faction, or how does that work?
That's like my
Battle-
in to
Battle
getting into
Toads?
fantasy?
yeah. So
It was Bone Reapers.
the
That's what it
the skull splitters, they're more like tribal fuckers. They not tribal fuckers, but they're tribal.
Tribal army.
Yeah.
Do they have like a Native American like?
in a
tribal,
sense,
or-
Racist.
Yeah.
In
In a sense, they're more connected to the land, but they still love going on wars.
So did the.
Well, yep. God damn it.
They liked killing each other.
I know.
It's like-
You had the Iron Skulls, I said. Their armor was, I don't know, just fucking rudimentary. And they always just went out and fought no matter what.
And did the wars.
Yes.
Into the wall. Good wall energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they used to be called like the Greenskins, and then they got transformed into what's the orc faction army now? Is it just orcs and goblins? Is that what it's called now?
No, we have two, we got the Ordic war clans and the Gloomspite Gits.
I love.
Strong name
Oh, wait a
change.
minute.
Good change.
Weren't the Gloomspike guys the guys that sided with Kragnos?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Them and the Ordic clan sided with
Oh,
Kragnos.
okay, so both sided with Kragnos.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like one of them. Okay.
So,
Because
that's
Gloomspike, that sounds so familiar. I was like, I think I
Yeah.
remember that from Kragnos episode.
So this army didn't disappear. It just they basically reskin the entire army.
yeah, they just
Okay.
alright, new coat of paint.
They got cooler names. They got
Yeah.
a name upgrade. Like going from Greenskins to
Yeah.
the Gloomspike Gits.
That sounds like a pretty good band name.
That's a strong name.
It is.
Yeah, because like with the Lizardmen, it goes from Lizardmen to Seraphon, but like the army didn't like change, really. It just got new models. This one sounded like they reskinned the whole army. Like, it's like
Pretty
the exact
much,
same, but
yeah.
everything's got a new coat of paint on it.
Yeah. Next faction is just strictly chaos. So the first,
Straight chaos.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's the ones that they truly considered as like pure chaos armies.
Mm-hmm.
We still have Skaven, but they're just like like that, just
Oh,
slightly.
Skaven were like a part of chaos.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not
They were just
100%.
They were just models. If you run Skaven in your armies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing in Sigmar they became the Skaven or
No.
They were always their own army even then.
Oh.
But you could run like maybe a unit of form.
Well, you
Storm-
can like run them together.
It used
It
to be
was a weird
weird because it used to be like if you had a chaos army, like your army is chaos, so you can use anything in the chaos banner. So I can have chaos
okay,
and this
okay.
and that or whatever, and that would be your chaos army. But if you had a Skaven army, you can only use Skaven stuff, which it was a
It-
thing
it
that
was-
I only ever saw people do like a chaos army if it was like a huge like 10,000 point game or
Yeah.
5,000 point game. No one ever did it on the 2,000 point
Oh,
scale.
it's probably because like since like the chaos banner is like it's so broad, you can just be like, oh, like I don't have enough Skaven to run a 10,000 point game for chaos,
Yeah.
but I have all these other guys too, so
I
I can
only
then,
got
like,
1,000 points of Skaven, but I got 9,000 points of chaos.
yeah,
Whatever am I
Of-
going to do?
yeah,
It's true.
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What is it? DJ was the only guy I knew that actually had enough for like a 10,000 point army for his Tomb Kings, and that's literally because he had every model Games Workshop ever released for Tomb Kings
Holy
in multiple,
shit.
and he had enough for like a 10,000 point army.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder, like if I were to buy like one kit of every, I guess
Like
one of
army.
every kit from like say like Bone Reapers.
Mhm.
Like I wonder how many points that would add up to.
I guess it would be a thing if you bought a kit and if that kit equaled a full unit.
Yeah.
Because I think like it was a thing where when you bought a kit, sometimes it would be like a unit and a half kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in case like a model broke or you needed to
Or like half a unit in a sense.
yeah, or a half a unit if you're like, oh well, you're a horde army, so you bought this box and it came with 15 dudes, but a unit is 30 because so many fucking models, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, you would probably be able to get to a pretty decent size because what those start collecting boxes that they still
hold,
have.
like- yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
know.
like
I saw one in at what is it?
know.
Guild House. Guild House had one for
they're like
Corn
100
Demons because when when we were first talking about me getting into War or Sigmar, I was looking at the Corn Demons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, there's a box here. I could probably pick it up. And I saw it was like $80. And I was
That's-
only working part time at
Yeah.
the time, and I was like, yeah, no, guys, this isn't for me.
Yeah, the thing is with those start collecting boxes, at least when I got mine, because that's how I got my Seraphon started,
You're
was
welcome.
it. Huh?
Oh, I was saying you're welcome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Greg also got me the fucking Thundercast host or
Oh, I
whatever.
saw that the other day.
I think it's
The
cool
Thunder
as
Beast
shit.
host?
Yeah, but those things, but those start collecting boxes were really good to get into because they were like, I think 1,000+ points. Like you can make 1,000 point army out of that, which was basically like the normal Sigmar games you would play anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there were some that were even like 1,500 or maybe 2,000, but those were like really good if you were just playing like normal, like, you know, you and your buddies and beer and pretzels kind of games. Like those, that's what you would get.
Those sound like my kind of games. I know for Warcry, you can build a whole team out of one box for the Bone Ripper guys. It's the Mortec Guard. It comes with, I think it's 20 models, and that's like your whole Warcry team in that one box.
Well, that's why I built Grey Knights, because I could build the whole army out of one box.
Yeah.
You know? I would.
You have extra, I think.
I do.
Yeah.
I have
for
like
the kill
two or-
team, the kill team came with like an extra model. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I'm trying to think because there's like Warcry is different than.
No, it's bigger than Kill Team.
It's bigger than Kill
yeah,
Team.
it's bigger
Yeah.
than Kill Team. Like
Okay.
I was looking into it because like when we talked about Bone Reapers, I like
You're like, I want to play Bone Reapers, but I don't want to play
but I don't want to
big.
play big. But it's still bigger than Kill Team.
How much bigger though? Because I know
Um,
Kill Team is like the
okay.
most you get is like fucking 10 dudes.
The most is actually 13 now.
Oh.
There's been some buffs lately.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
people got more models. Goddamn gits.
Calm down.
Okay.
Commandos got.
Okay, but because like mine's
but
like
no,
5
like-
or 6 fucking dudes.
Yeah. So for I guess like my team in Kill Team, my team of Scions is 10 models.
Yeah.
In Warcry, if I were to do a team of, let's say, I'm only running a Mortec Guard
Mm.
because it's more picking a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
It's like if you're running Grey Knights, you can only run Grey Knights.
Yeah.
But like if I'm playing in Warcry, if I want to run Bone Reapers, they don't just have to be Mortec
Oh, it
guards.
could be any
They
scene.
could be a plethora of things. They could be a lot of different
Oh.
things.
Okay.
So I can have some Mortec guards, I can have some cavalry, and I can have some of the dudes with the punchies on their hands.
Oh,
And the flesh stitcher guy on the crotch.
nuts.
Yeah, I could run like a little bit of everything there if I wanted to run all of those.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit bigger and it's more. I don't know. Module's not the right word. It's more customizable with your teams.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I think I looked into Warcry once, and I couldn't figure out like, yo, is like every faction have a Warcry thing, or not really, or or like.
Well, from what I was able to gather, they just changed the point values of everything.
Okay.
It's like because I know you can use Mortec Guard in the big game. I guess I'm assuming that when you use them in Warcry, everything gets like a little stat buff, and everything costs more points. I'm assuming because they're supposed to be smaller teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Like I haven't played yet. I haven't played either one yet. I'm just assuming because I was told that Warcry is the more skirmishy version of Sigmar.
And you much prefer the skirmish.
I don't want to buy a billion models. Like, yeah, I have bought a few kits. Like, I have, like, how many kill teams now?
It's 5.
5?
More than that.
Fucking Christ.
It's more than that. Like,
Okay.
Easily.
but the point is, but they're not all the same units. I have multiple different teams, so I could be like, oh, what do I feel like playing today? I feel like playing Custodians. Oh, I feel like playing Chaos Space Marines. Whereas if I were doing big teams, I'd only have, like, one team. And
Yeah, that's fair.
and it'd be a huge investment to play something else
The shelf space.
in
Ooh,
shelf space.
God, that's self-space.
Dude, freaking trunk space, dude.
Alright.
So what were we talking about?
The chaos.
Chaos.
So
Yes.
we're talking about
So-
big teams and like how you can kit bash them
Yeah,
and it led into
so-
the other thing.
Yeah.
We got Demons of Chaos. They haven't changed.
Yeah.
So they haven't changed in anything.
No.
Nope.
mean-
Same damn thing.
I mean, if you want to play Age of Sigmar and 40k,
play
Demons.
play demons.
Yeah, just play Demons.
I thought of that for like a cool
That's
second.
what you told me because
Yeah.
I kind of wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
do both. You're like, just bring demons.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they're pretty much interchangeable. I mean,
Just
Nope.
get the different stat card data
Yeah.
sheet.
That's what a lot of people did, was just like, I mean, they're fine in both games, and I want to play both, so there you go.
we got the Warriors of Chaos,
Hmm.
I think they
That's
look
like-
cool.
Archeon, and all them. It's what
Alex used to play,
yeah,
right?
I
those
love
fuckers.
Archeon.
I had to
He
paint his
looks-
models for
he's
him.
So
Oh
metal.
my god.
Uh,
Dean, you want to paint my models?
dude, I don't have the time to
Anymore.
paint models. I don't have the time to paint my own goddamn models.
Have you painted your Grey Knights yet?
No,
They're great. Why would I need to paint them? They're already perfect.
Terrible.
You never painted his Vortex piece, have you?
Hmm?
Alex's Vortex piece.
He doesn't
Fuck
care.
no.
Good.
I don't even know where that
Alex
thing is
doesn't
anymore.
care. Alex, I hope you're listening.
He won't.
I want him to comment. I do care. I haven't forgotten.
Alex is like, I still got mine. Don't worry about it.
He never sold them.
Oh God.
And then we also got Beastmen, who
Ah.
are now Beasts of Chaos. So they didn't really change that much.
They just got lumped. They just
Yeah.
got further lumped into chaos.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they just gave us like, here's some extra guys for you guys. That's it. Have fun. Bye.
It's better. I mean, that's better than your whole army doesn't exist anymore.
The fucking Bretonians.
Bretonians and the Empire and all the pretty much most of the humans.
Oh God.
I feel like I hate to see humans get shafted like that, man. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so the what's the next one? Because I feel like there's a pattern to a lot of these. Either the armies were like kind of generic, so they got phased out or blocked into another more popular army, or they didn't get dropped. They just got a name change or a coat of paint, or they never existed physically. They were a lore-only army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or other media.
Or other media armies or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel. I'm assuming like, seems like Chaos got like a great deal because they all got moved up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, Chaos.
Well, let's see. Well, I know with the Chaos Warriors, their whole new army name is Slaves to Darkness.
I love it.
The Edge. The Edge.
Yeah. And for like the Chaos Demons, they do have their own faction battle tone now. You got the Blades of Corn, Disciples of Sinch, the Hedonites of Slanesh, and the Maggot King of Nurgle.
That just sounds like the fucking 40k names.
Yep.
Yes. Pretty much.
I love it.
Next one is the Undead. We got Tomb Kings, your Egyptian skeletons,
Mm-hmm.
and the Gesh.
Necrons?
Huh?
Necrons?
Yeah.
Kind of,
No,
sort of,
they're more like-
basically.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like I know. I just like
I think the only person who
Egyptian
survived
skeletons. It just sounds like Necrons.
from Tomb Kings
Yeah,
was
but Tomb
Nagesh.
King.
He's the
Yeah.
only fucker who survived from them.
He's all powerful, bro.
Well, he is now a god, so
Yeah, that was a thing that happened in... Because I know... Like, we watched a video before we started of a guy lighting his
entire army.
his entire Death army on fire when they announced that Tomb Kings and, like, a lot of the Death Chaos factions weren't transferring over into Sigmar.
Yeah.
Damn.
Lit the whole... It was a big army.
It was. He even had like a big old model too, and that just
Melted.
yeah.
It sucks that he did that because that probably would have been worth something.
Well, it sucks that they did that because they announced the old world like 8 months ago. All your old models that you thought were gone are coming back. You can play them again.
Yep.
But yeah, people were not happy when Age of Sigmar came
Okay,
back.
okay, well, what's stopping you from just playing older editions?
Just playing older fantasy.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing,
Yeah,
but
so
the
it's-
problem
this
is
is
it's tournament play.
Okay.
Tournament play just doesn't exist for the older factions, at least when the turn came. And it was also like when a lot of Age of
Bless you.
Sigmar, or
you.
Games Workshop, when they did Age of Sigmar, they're like, we're not supporting these army anymore. No more models, no more books, nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was the thing that a lot of people were pissed about was
They
I
never-
spent
they-
thousands of dollars on this army, and now it's useless because all my shops are just going to play Age of Sigmar now, and none of them are going to play Fantasy anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. People were fucking pissed.
I'm sure that he could have went like, hey, does anyone feel like playing some fantasy?
He probably could have.
Well, I
but,
could've gotten a
I mean,
few
he was
games
probably
in.
more pissed off that.
Well, you know, like it does suck. I'd be furious too. Like again, it's the whole like I spent
$1,000.
all this time and money building this up, and now you just tell me it's like it's no longer like tournament legal. You don't have to play the tournaments. Like if
Yeah.
you want to play the tournaments, like go ahead, maybe like invest little by little into a newer army, or I don't know, maybe figure out if it's possible to run whatever you have already as proxies.
No, because that's the
No.
thing with the tournament Warhammer.
No,
From
they
my
have-
nose, it's a no proxy rule.
No
Yeah,
proxies.
no proxies
okay.
at all.
Get fucked, dude.
Yeah.
That's ass.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of people like dropped the game when Sigmar came around, and a lot of people tried to hold on to Fantasy for dear life. But the whole Games Workshop's not supporting it anymore was a real like, oh well, that fucking
Debbie
sucks.
Downer in a sense.
Damn.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
And then
Again, going off of 10-year-old information and conversations I had when this happened.
Yeah, but that sounds exactly like what would happen though. I'm like, man, rip that guy, man. Hearts out to you, man. Like that sucks that
And
you
then-
felt compelled to light your entire collection on fire.
yeah. And then our other faction of the undead are the vampire counts.
Those
Guys still exist.
Yeah.
I saw them in the store.
There's two different names now for them.
Oh.
The Soulblight Overlords.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like it's mainly vampire lords controlling zombies in a sense. From what I've seen, I gotta do a deep dive into them
Mm-hmm.
to actually find out what the fuck they are about. And then what I like to call the feral vampire, the flesh eater courts.
I know
That
Flesh Eater
sounds
Court.
metal.
Yeah.
They are fucking metal. That's
I was
what
gonna
our buddy that played Tomb Kings bought into after Tomb Kings got discontinued.
Yeah.
They were cool as fuck.
Let me see.
I think he might still have his Tomb King's army in his fucking attic.
I mean, I'd hold on to that stuff.
So-
I held on to a lot of things. I need to clean out my shit.
So they
The
re-
trunk full of models.
Well, no, I have a lot of D&D models that I use for like NPCs, so
Yeah.
they're still proving useful.
So they just did like a revamp of the book and everything. This is their new king or their new leader.
Oh, he looks bad to the ass.
So that looks like what we would call a shelf model.
Yes, or a centerpiece model if you're
He
playing.
looks so cool. He's got heads in his beard,
Yeah,
or in his furs.
I guess that's it for art.
It's a sprue.
Yeah, I thought
Anyway,
there was
he
more.
looks super cool.
Oh yeah. Hold on,
Osharan.
Yeah.
So, like this is flesh eaters right here.
Yeah, Flesh Eater Court is like fucking cool.
Like
Yeah.
zombie vampires, sort of?
No, what was that movie? Daybreak.
Or wait, are you talking about like the feral vampire movies? Because that's like I Am Legend.
It's in a sense I am.
Oh, like
Legend.
30 Days of Night, or something like that?
Yeah, I guess like 30 Days of Night.
No, they look more
Or-
like the I Am Legend vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're more like so...
They're feral.
They're-
I am like
they're-
bloodlusty monster vampires.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
more
that's
like that.
yeah, that's very cool.
But like with some of them, how they look. I think the movie called Daybreak, where the entire world is taken over by vampires. They have their own society, but because they're running low on humans and their blood, some are starting to go through major withdrawals.
And they turn into...
Oh, it's
Feral.
like I think it's Daybreak, and I think it has Ethan Hawke in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie. Thank you. I couldn't think of the actor's name.
All right, movie. Okay, Ethan Hawke, great in everything I've seen
Yes.
him in.
And then our last one is the ogres. They were once called ogre kingdoms. They are now just the ogre mall tribes, and we did a video on them already.
The bad
Yes.
boys.
The ogres were a very interesting faction.
Yeah. In all honesty, I just think they just got just a new name, and that was it.
Yeah,
Well, you can't change perfection.
You can't. You really can't.
So yeah, so that's all the forgotten factions of.
Yeah. Everything I found.
So out of,
Well, gone, but not forgotten.
indeed. So out of all the fantasy factions that fell or got mushed and molded or whatever together to survive into Age of Sigmar, why do we think some of them disappeared? Why do we think some of them stayed on? And which ones would you really like to see make a comeback?
Bretonians, like
Just the Bretts.
I think they
for
look-
all of those.
I think they look cool, man.
That's fair. I mean,
It's like I take back every horrible thing I said about them.
The French.
I did not know that they were aesthetic AF. Like they look so cool.
in all honesty, I kind of wish we had a tabletop of the fucking Russians.
Oh,
You
making
just want-
actual models.
You just
for
want a
those?
bear. You just want a dude riding a bear.
Yes, I do. I mean, come on, that was sick as hell.
It did look cool.
I honestly, I would really kind of dig it if Tomb Kings made a comeback,
Yeah, I
low
mean-
key.
Yeah.
What would set them apart from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers? Though?
Honestly, it's just the Egypt aesthetic. That's
No, that's what you
basically
want.
it.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
I'll
kind of
buy
like
it.
the Egypt mummy aesthetic. It's just cool.
Well, that is cool.
Yeah.
I still can't quite put my finger on like what the
Bone Reapers.
Bone Reapers are like based off of, because like it's like some of it looks like feudal Japanese a little bit, with some of their helmets
A
and the
little.
way they have like their banners, but like it's like a very like generic thing to say, like, oh, they wear their banners on their back, that's like what the samurai do. It's like, well,
A lot of people do that.
like, yeah, a lot of people do that. So I'm just like, I can't put my finger on it. Also, Nagash's hat, like, the hat looks familiar. I just can't quite put my finger on what culture it comes from.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Like, if I could probably like figure out like the clothes, what culture is those clothes? Like, obviously that'd be the okay, they're based off of this.
Yeah.
But like, I can't put my finger on it because I don't think it's Egyptian anymore.
No, it's something else now. But speaking of, I mean, I know we brought up a few times that overworld is kind of coming back. The only two I've seen so far, Tomb Kings and Bretonians, I believe.
It's probably the two most popular factions that got left in the dirt.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. That would make sense. Well, I mean, like, Bretonians, I think, were one of, like, the older armies that just kind of phased off into the ether, like, even during Fantasy, because I don't remember 8th edition Fantasy anyone playing Bretts.
No.
I think they stopped being produced during 7th edition or 6th edition.
Give or take, yeah, but they just had so much stock of it, they just...
Kept on keeping on,
well,
yeah.
if they have a lot of stock of it, I think that means it wasn't selling well, so that's probably why they ended up leaving them behind.
Possibly, yeah.
Tomb Kings was another one, because I think, like, Tomb Kings... The problem with Tomb Kings was it was a horde army, so not a lot of people wanted to play it because you needed a shit ton of models to just play the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And most people would just end up playing, like, Skaven or Goblins or Orcs and Goblins or whatever it is,
Yeah,
just because...
something else.
Yeah.
Oh, models are probably easier to put together, too.
Oh, probably.
Skeletons are so spindly.
Ugh.
And they were, and also as a thing, they weren't very fun to paint because base them white, okay, some liquid talent on there, okay, brush it with some nice like highlight, and you're done. That was it. It's just you're just doing dry brushing for hours.
That sounds like
It'll-
easy.
ex-
It sounds easy. It sounds like something I would do.
Well, well, that's the thing. It was easy, so everyone who was like, "Well, I want to paint like really cool, intricate models," and it's like, Tomb Kings ain't that for you, brother.
Yeah.
Ain't that for you.
I mean, maybe it was like the chariots or like the Necro Sphinx, maybe, but
That was
That's
it.
about it.
Necro Sphinx.
Yes.
Sounds like a metal band.
it kind of does. Holy shit.
You put Necro in front of anything else, and it sounds like a metal band.
You're just like waiting for like the fucking shreddy guitar to play in the background.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh. But yeah, so I guess like why would Games Workshop discontinue these fine armies?
They were probably it was probably like a long-term thing. Like, we have bigger and better ideas for the future. We have to cut something. It's like, well, we can just lump all the humans together into one faction. Might as well do that.
X army's not selling really well. Why would
Or,
we want
like-
that into
or-
into Sigmar?
It's probably going down the list. It sounds like they just got rid of all the generic stuff. Generic dwarves, generic humans, generic elves. Lump them all into one faction.
Yeah.
They're that thing. Everything else that's more cool or unique, those things are moving forward.
Most of them we heard were like near the end. There was just give them a name change that makes them sound cooler than Lizard Men or
Yeah.
Greenskins.
Yeah.
Give them a cooler name.
Give it a more marketable name. But yeah, I think Lizardman's pretty pretty marketable.
Yeah.
Lizard Man. We can just imagine a movie, The Lizard Man.
That'd be a fun movie.
Velocipaster.
The Velocipaster.
The Velocipaster.
What was the fucking quote they had on it?
I don't know. It was so
He'll send sin to extinction.
probably. You know what? I believe that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like,
I believe that too. Holy shit.
it's so dumb.
But
Don't look it up again. We've seen that thing twice already.
It's too
good.
It's
too powerful.
No, I'm tired.
way
of
too
watching-
powerful.
Tired of watching it.
Well, that's it for today, boys. So, if you guys want to drop anything, now's the time to do it.
You can follow me and watch me not post anything on @medievalbuns on Instagram or Twitter.
That's it.
That's all I got, bro. I don't do anything. I'm not.
Start posting game updates already.
I don't have
Post Helldiver updates.
updates. Like,
just stream
Or
Helldiver.
memes or something.
I don't have. Let me get a capture card first, and I want to get a. I might be getting to stop motion.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, it's happening.
there we go. I'm getting a lot of Gundam kits, so I'm thinking I could probably do some stop motion stuff with this. Some like easy, maybe like some like animatic-esque things, like having like, no, this one is this one's me and this one's you guys, and I just like take clips from like a podcast or something, and then like I animate it via the figures.
Okay.
Which I have that idea at work today. I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That does.
But that's
Shit.
okay. Like, I guess if I ever do that, I will let you know.
Okay.
All right. If you wanted to hear me talk more, and not about Warhammer, but about movies, I do a movie podcast called The Film Club. You can find it. It's called The Film Club Podcast on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, this, that, the other thing. Me and my girlfriend talk and have guests on, and we talk about movies. It's fun. You can also find us on the YouTube channel, The Film Vault. That is The Film Vault on YouTube, because the film club was taken. And you can see the slideshow video versions of that said podcast. But yeah, go do that. Greg, your turn.
You can find me at agent_Cali21 on Instagram. And at the Warlords on Twitter now.
We have a
We
Twitter.
have a Twitter now?
Yes, I.
Or,
just-
sorry,
you
sorry.
make it
We
to-
have an X now.
We have an X
X.
now?
An X
Yes.
now. 'Cause
Yes.
it's extreme.
Yes, we're
X.
throwing up our arms as X's right now.
I
Exactly.
made it yesterday. So I figured
It's
I'd
fresh.
drop it for you guys
Alright, let me
today.
go follow that. Let's get my phone out.
Time for me to get an X so I can follow that and then nothing else.
Hey, it's not like I'm doing anything with mine.
Yeah, I gotta figure out like start posting everything. Also,
Hell is mine.
if you guys want to do thumbnails for me, hit me up, please.
I'll tell Mia again because
Okay.
Mia's a banger artist.
Okay, I would love to see her work as well, and I'll talk money wise about it.
It's the Warlords?
At it was either at the Warlords or at Warlords. Let me double check.
It's there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
he's
found
doing
it.
the thing.
I am the first follower. I'm the best. Huzzah. Haha. I beat you.
Motherfucker's making me get a fucking Twitter. Or sorry, an X.
Throw 'em up.
Alright.
Other than that, thank you guys for listening once more, and we'll get back to you next time with another video.
So many bots here.
Huh?
Nothing.